Welcome everyone to Inside Hospice. This is our episode 2 where we're sitting with Corenna, who is our Child and Youth Program Director. And Corenna is going to share a bit about the program. Corenna, why don't you tell us the big picture of the program to start with?
So this is a wonderful new opportunity for Hospice, the Child and Youth Program. And the idea is to support children and youth who are grieving, that have lost somebody close to them, and provide support in different areas such as one-on-one counseling. We offer art therapy as well as play therapy for the younger kids. We have a youth together group, a support grief group for teens, and we're also putting one in place for younger children. So the idea is there's a lot of need in Campbell River, and such limited resources of support when it comes to supporting kids through their grief. So it's an amazing opportunity. We're still in the developmental stages of it, but so far it's been an amazing response and we're continuing to build it.
Yeah, and speaking of the need, that's how it all started. Is since COVID we recognized that there were so many children coming for support that was dealing with traumatic losses. And we went to some community leaders here in Campbell River and said, you know, this is a dire situation. There was one week where we had 4 phone calls about 4 different suicides that affected children, and we really needed to do something. And they jumped right in and gathered a group together, and they're called the Founding Contributors, who committed to supporting this program for 2 years and helped get it off the ground. It was amazing. It literally took about a month for them to get everyone together. And it's planned that this group will keep on going and continue to fund the program. So thanks to our founding contributors and business leaders in Campbell River who saw the great need that we were able to make this happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so part of this program I see is preventative, wouldn't you say? Because it helps to teach the kids how to grieve and how to grieve in a healthy way rather than reverting to drugs, alcohol, crime, bad decisions, things like that, and teaching the entire family really how to grieve in a healthy way, wouldn't you say?
And it's a lot about providing those tools to, help navigate them through their big emotions and their loss, and working with them and putting tools into a toolbox that they can carry throughout life before before they go down a different path. It is definitely a preventative model, and it's been already quite beneficial to some of these young kids that didn't have those tools before. And depending on the age, depends on what tool. You told me about that special bag that you use quite a bit. What was that again? It's called the Feel Better Bag.
The Feel Better Bag.
So for younger children, we create a bag together and we talk about different emotions and different strategies to help regulate those emotions. So for example, if a child is feeling stressed out or worried, perhaps we'll have a worry ball or a stress ball in there. We've put in different breathing exercises, easy enough for them to do, or say, a way to calm down, and they can look at it or do it with mom or dad or whoever's in their family. So there's, endless ideas for working through those emotions, screaming into a pillow. But it gives them ideas that when they're in the moment, they can go home and they can look in their Feel Better bag and pull something out. And each time they come in, we do add to it.
That is perfect. And it's all in one place too. And you were telling me that you've had some kids coming as young as 3?
As young as 3 years old, yes. So our age range is 3-4-ish, depending on capacity, I think, and where they're at in development, to 19 years old. So it's quite a broad range, and each person each child, each youth is so individual that what we are doing is very individualized too. So
Right.
with the youth, there's a lot of talk therapy where they just want to talk and share, and we work through that together. In my office, or for the younger kids, we use the art room here, which is
where we are
amazing.
right now.
And we have all the arts and crafts, and we create memories and do paintings, and sort of following their lead. And putting in that education piece as well, and helping to support them.
Wonderful. And I really like the fact that you're going to the schools also. So the kids can come here for therapy, but there's also the option of getting it there at the school in a group or individually.
Absolutely.
We talked before about how it's difficult for the parents. Life is so busy and there's so many things happening now in this world that they're grieving also. So you have the parents who are grieving and trying to deal with their own grief. So what a gift to have you go to the school and help them where they're at.
And sometimes there can even just be a lot of barriers for the parents for transportation, right? Especially if they have 4 children in one family, it's hard to go back and forth. Whereas I can meet them where they're at the school, which is really great. It's been wonderful, and working with the school systems in order to do that. So we've built a lot of relationships with the other organizations, with the school district,
and the school counselors as well.
And the
isn't
school
that right?
counselors, So a lot of positive connections there for our program, and they're supporting us too in what we're doing. So that's been really amazing.
Sounds like a really great wraparound service when you have the teachers who can identify if there's a concern or an issue with a child who's had a death in the family and can reach out to you.
And a lot of
parents.
The support workers around town too, the different organizations, quite regularly we're receiving referrals that they've submitted on the child or youth's behalf. So
that's good. Well, we're really glad to have you, Corenna.
It's really great to be here.
So tell us then, and people watching, how can they refer a child for support? And I must mention too that because of the founding contributors in our community, there's no cost to this program. So how can they access?
So there's a few different ways. They can call in on the phone or come into the hospice. As well, we do have an online referral process. So it's as easy as going onto the website and clicking on the referral and having it submitted. And the youth can do that themselves. A parent can do it, a youth support worker. So it's quite straightforward.
Yeah, and then there's always consents involved with the parents.
The next step would be doing an intake with the parent and getting additional information, and then determining what the best fit for the child or the youth would be, because we do have many options, and seeing what their needs are.
And then quite often you have the parents doing an intake as well for themselves. And you had mentioned that many times where you have an appointment with one of the children or youth. At the same time, their parent is in another room here at the Hospice Care Center getting Reiki or counseling, things like that.
It's really a full family approach in some instances where we do have children in here while mom's in Reiki, and then there's the support group. So it's really encompassing the whole family, which is great.
That's just beautiful. Yeah, well, thank you, Corenna.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed hearing about the Child and Youth Program here in Campbell River. And watch out for our next episode.